Hi, seniors and English 4 students. I wanted to touch base with you very quickly because we are now at week 6 in our class, which means that we're at the 50-yard line for quarter 1. So we are halfway done with quarter 1. Another way to think of that is that we're officially 1/8 of the way done with the school year. So if you ordered a large pizza, you've officially had one piece. So I want to take advantage of all the time that we have. We will be doing progress checks, so we'll be sending home reports after the first marking period just to kind of see how you're doing, so you know and your parents know where you're sitting. Now, these are going in your official records, right? So this is just kind of a heads up to where you're sitting. More than likely, you know the answer to that, but it's important that your parents and your guardians know that as well. So if you're not all the way caught up, make sure that you are. Now, at this point, you should be at 12% completed with this English class. All right? The progress that we're going to send home is a weighted combination of the grade earned, the percent complete, and your participation in the launches. So, for example, if we look at John, he's completed 11 out of his 12 percent that needs to be done, and he's earned an 84.1% on all of his work. He's also completed 80% of his launches, or he's done 16 out of 20 launches. So just to kind of take a quick look, if we take 11 divided by 12, that gives us 91.7. So that's his percent complete. I'm going to take percent completed times what he's earned, which is an 84.1, and that comes out to a 77.28. Now, if we didn't have the launches, we would say, well, that's his grade. However, we are also giving points for doing the launches within the courses. In this case, he's completed 80% of them, which is 10% of 80 is 8, so we're going to add an additional 8 points to that, right? So it's very important that you are on pace, that you're getting good grades, and that you're doing the launches, all right? And this is actually an English 4 pace chart, not an English 3. That's a misprint on my part. So if we look right here, Mrs. Pelkey and I worked through this course when we started, right? Right now, you should be completed with 1.16, which is the test in Unit 1. So you should be completely done with that. Next week, you're going to move on to 2.01 to 2.03. Make sure that that's where you are. If you're not, you desperately need to get caught up, okay? So this week, starting on 9/27, which is today, and ending next Tuesday at midnight, you should have 2.1 to 2.3 completed. So up to this point, all of Unit 1 and the first 3 assignments, right? Now, this week's assignment is relatively laid back, all right? I want you to take a look. There's only 3 assignments that you need to do in the next 5 days. Parts of speech 2, and then a quiz, okay? So you have 2 lessons and a quiz. If you finish early, and you're caught up in all of your other courses, you may work ahead, all right? But I want to make sure that and Mrs. Pelkey and I did build these in, that you had a couple weeks that were pretty laid back in order to get caught up, all right? So if you take a look at the grading policy, here you'll see that we have 20, 20, 20% in lessons, quizzes, and grades. Lessons, you can always have 3 attempts. Quizzes, you can have 2. And tests, you can have 1. Now, this accounts for 60% of your grade between the lessons, quizzes, and the tests. The remaining 40% come from your projects. So projects are extremely important. They count almost as half of your grade. So you have to do them. Excuse me. In English class, most of your projects are going to be essays. So I'm willing to work with you, and I want to work with you back and forth on these, all right? I will not give you a final grade on a project until you say, all right, Mr. Bainey, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, okay? But we're going to keep bouncing these ideas back and forth, okay? I do have 2 extra credit assignments for you, okay? First and foremost, I want you to look for numbers that are in orange with an exclamation point underneath them. If you see them in your grade book, that means that you have done an assignment, but it has not been graded, okay? And I try very hard to go through the grade book every day and scour and look for these. Typically, they come when someone submits a blank essay, which you know you're not supposed to do. But if you have one of these, that means I need to grade it. Okay. So if you find one, all I want you to do is just send me a notification on Google Hangouts and tell me, hey, Mr. Bainey, you never graded this assignment, and tell me the exact assignment that it is by using this configuration at the bottom. So Unit 1, Assignment 7, and the name of it. All right, so any assignment that has yellow and an exclamation point, if you point that out to me, I will give you 1 bonus point, okay, from your overall grade, which, believe it or not, is pretty significant, so take advantage of that. The next thing I want you to do for an extra credit, since we have a little bit of time, is I actually want you to read this poem off to the right out loud. You're going to record yourself, and then you're going to post it to the Google Classroom. Again, this is not mandatory, but it is worth 20 points of extra credit. And basically the way that that works is there's a couple ways. If you have a cell phone, just use your voice memo and then send it to your email, and then you can upload it from there. You can also use Screencast-O-Matic, which is the program that I'm using right now. All you have to do is set up the recorder, and if you just copy and paste this, if you just copy and paste this poem onto a Word document or onto a Google slide, you can just record it there, read it out loud, and then upload it as a video. You can do it that way. So any way that you want to be able to do this, if you want to, write a song, sing a song, if you find another poem that's similar to this, but this whole week is all about all about parts of speech. So the more that we hear them, the better off we are. And this is an easy bonus point for you if you want it. Any questions? Please feel free to reach out. Congratulations on reaching halfway, and hopefully over the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we can finish strong after the first quarter. As you guys probably know, I will not be your teacher for the remainder of the year. I'm only subbing for the first marking period, so I want to leave Mrs. Pelkey with lots of good grades. So make me look good, guys. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.